Hello, everyone. I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hey guys,
And
hey!
and this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It is the weekend, so we know what that means. Very indulgent today. Dark roast and sweetened condensed milk, because why wouldn't you if you had it in the house? So I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is safe. Look after yourselves. Look after the people you care about. I know, I know. So today we are going to revisit our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, The Chantal Show, Chantopolis, and of course Foodie Beauty again. No name changes in a while. Changed her thumbnail, her profile picture a few times, but no changes in name. So we last week was different. I had titled the video "Getting Dolled Up." Uh, High point of the week was that she was considering getting a sex doll. Trolling. She said not trolling. Trolling. For companionship, maybe a little bit of fun in the bedroom. So she talked about having her new boyfriend maybe coming to visit, the boyfriend being the doll. And she did this over a mountain of very delicious looking Indian food. It was a lot, but this is the Chantal show. This is how it is. And then some Christmas drive-through things, which were okay, if you like those. We did one last night. We didn't go through a drive-through setup thing. We just drove around town, taking pictures of lights. It's fun. It's okay, but you gotta like that kind of stuff to watch it, or you gotta like Chantal and Pete's as personalities to see what they think about what's going on. So, kind of niche, kind of not. What else happened? Oh, there was like a day in the life too. So, going into this week, there's some illness that comes up, according to Chantal. Something is not right, something is quite wrong. She had alluded to this a little bit last week and has been dropping bits and pieces that there is stuff going on off camera related to her health, and she's not been very specific. She gets a little, maybe too specific for some folks during this video, but during this week, but here we go. So, the first one where we left off. Last week, the last one we did was the Enchanted something drive-through. They kind of all look a little bit the same, the drive-throughs. Well, there was one she went through in the daytime that was not very nice, but most of them kind of look the same. And not bad. They're cute. First one for this week, random vlog, big breakfast enchanted Christmas event. So we're doing another enchanted Christmas drive-through. But she starts off, and when she says random, she means random. She's waiting for Perkins breakfast to be delivered. And she's going through her Lush haul. She had some products from Lush that she had got. And Lush are pretty luxurious products, I would say. Rather expensive, but worth it, depending on your perspective. I'm on the thriftier side of things, but Lush is high quality. They have the strangest scent combinations. It would be like lemon and boysenberry, or like clove and blue cheese, like weird things. And they always end up smelling good. She seems like so excited in this video. I think she has like the pie man's coming, the dealer's coming, like the food's on its way, and she's just can't wait. So she goes through some of the luxury products that she got, bath bomb, face scrub, the typical stuff. And then breakfast arrives. And this is not like a Grand Slam lumberjack breakfast from Denny's. It's hearty. It's hearty. And in light of what comes up later in the week, it seems a little reckless, perhaps. But neither here nor there. I remember Perkins from being a kid. Perkins, frankly, I think does one of the better breakfasts for chain restaurants. When I was a kid and I would go clubbing, I was like 18. We'd go stay out till 2 in the morning and then go to Perkins because there was nowhere else to go. And half the people from the club would be there. And we would want to sit in the smoking section because we were mature and we smoked and drank coffee at 2:30 in the morning. We were so cool it was killing us. So, going to see more lights tonight, going to see Enchanted Ontario, and then she lets on to some plans for the month that she has coming up. Chantal makes great plans. The execution is not her strong suit, but she does make good plans. She'd be a great... Well, actually, she wouldn't. I was going to say she'd be a great manager, but no. So we're going to go for the lights downtown to get some beaver tails, which is a dessert-type funnel cakey donut thing. It's not an actual beaver tail, from what I've researched. The Abominable Pete's, which was teased a while ago, and she's script writing for that. Some time warps, and then some creepy Christmas stories, a la creepypasta. So, Enchanted Ottawa. Before they even get through the drive, they're discussing Chantal's gas. And to the point where Pete's brings it up first. And I don't think she ripped ass actually in the car, but it wouldn't have surprised me. And it's semi sort of related to some health issues she's bringing up later, but at the same time, discussing them in the context of being a health issue and using whatever the language is around that is one thing. Um, but they enjoy a very casual, candid relationship, especially one, I suppose, with their viewers, where anything goes. You know, it's a much different way of approaching uh, creating content, I suppose. So that's theirs. That's their journey. Um, they're just driving through. She's going to add some copyright-free music because the music that's coming in, you know, will get flagged. We've had that happen a couple times. We were filming and it was in the hotel lobby of a place that we were staying, and it was like 10 seconds worth of like crappy dressing room background music, and had to cut it out. It said you can either get rid of all this film, you can pick another tune, or you can share copyright with the person. There was like only so many options. So she gets a beaver tail with a beaver dog. So it's this pastry wrapped around a hot dog and then fried. And then she gets another beaver tail called an avalanche, which has cheesecake filling, caramel, and there's nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely nothing. Is it for her? Her body, her choice, her foods, or whatever. Be big, do you. I would have ordered it, maybe. I think I would have got it plain, because I never had one before. But so, one of the themes that's kind of reoccurring, and it was in the comments a few times, is that some people are getting sick of Pete's, because he's a Debbie Downer. You know, kind of a wah, wah. He doesn't like Christmas. He doesn't like things other people like. He's just very negative. Just very negative. And I don't... Mark!
Yeah.
Can I see you for a second?
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
So Pete's, you know Pete's.
I know Pete's.
And I like Pete's. This is not about not liking Pete's. You know Mark. I personally like Pete's quite a bit. However, he is a little negative.
Oh, yeah.
And he is not everyone's cup of tea.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Debbie Downer?
Yes, I like, you know what, anytime someone says, oh, I like that, he finds something he doesn't like about it.
Yeah.
Every time someone says, I don't like that, then he finds something that he does like about it.
He's kind of a contrarian. It's
Yes.
just like whatever you... if I say I love Walmart, he hates it. If I say I hate, you know, except Amazon. It's the only thing.
Oh, yeah, I've known a lot of people like Pete's, and he always, like, you know, puts a downer on something, you know. But you know what I do think?
What?
I think that would all change if you met the right person, be it a female or a male, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I think somebody can kind of bring him out of that.
Yeah. He's good with the cats.
Yeah, cats, yeah.
He's good with the cats. He just needs someone who's as social as a cat.
I guess, yeah. Maybe we should get on that.
I'll get on that. Put a
But
pin in
no,
that.
I do think that, like, with the proper companionship, I think that that would all kind of change a little bit. You
Yeah.
know? But you know, the companionship that he's having right now, I don't think is a very positive.
I don't know
thing
if
for
Pete's is
him.
living his best life at the
I
moment.
don't think so either.
No, I don't.
He is gaining weight, and
Yeah.
his mood tends to be a lot lower now that I've noticed than in the past before they were literally living together.
Mhm.
But again, my opinion.
Just your opinion. Okay, so where we roll into next is Something Is Not Right. This is the next video. This is where grave illness, not being dramatic, because it could be grave illness, it often in the past when it's been presented to be, hasn't. You know, her OBGYN stuff, that was real. That happened. That wasn't made dramatic. It was a long time coming because she had shared about that issue over a period of years before the final action to deal with it was taken. But was going to cook. This is just the makeup. Her hair's everywhere, but her hair's a lot longer than I realized, actually. Hair's everywhere. Half her makeup is on, she says. And she was going to cook, but she can't because she doesn't feel well. And she said, behind the scenes, there's been other issues going on. This is classic. Behind the scenes, there's more going on. I can't tell you everything. This is not news. This is not unique to plus-size YouTubers, but for the handful that I do follow, that I like, that I review, that I watch for train wreck appeal. It comes up a lot. The idea that there's something more going on off camera, and I'm gonna tell you that there's more going on off camera, but I'm gonna hang it there like the carrot. I'm not gonna actually tell you what's going on. I'm gonna want you to want to know what's going on.
Oh yeah, attention seeking. Oh my gosh, she's looking at the comments. Oh, what's wrong? Are you okay? It's happened time.
Mark has
time
thoughts
again with her.
today.
Oh.
Mark has thoughts
Either,
today.
Don't say anything at all, or let us know what's going on so we can, comment or help or whatever.
Well, when she starts talking, I'm almost... Okay, so she said you guys know about my breathing problems. Well, I could have guessed if you hadn't told me. But yes, I do remember her breathing issues. She sleeps with a CPAP. I remember that. She started one video with that, so I don't think that's changed. I remember the blood clots in the lungs were going on not that long ago. She's a walking high risk factor for everything. COVID is especially concerning, I think, for some folks. I think it would be particularly concerning to her as far as taking precautions, because at her, at her weight and at her level of pre-existing everything, she could go like that if she got sick suddenly. So she's not feeling well, and it's primarily, I guess, digestive-wise. She's going to the bathroom frequently, like 10 times a day frequently, and she said it's not just from eating bad food. She doesn't have a gallbladder and eats quite a bit of fatty food. Even if she only ate what she showed on camera, it's quite a bit. But she insists it's no matter what she eats. So, okay. She's starting to feel very weak, very lethargic. She says not much of an appetite. Put a pin in that, because that's short-lived. She said she called the doctor, but she's not sure what she's going to do, and that she did contract C. diff in a hospital, she believed, a few years ago. And that sometimes it comes back, perhaps, and that they do, in fact, do a bowel-to-bowel transplant of fecal matter to help treat that. So this is the only time, I think, if she's going to disclose stuff and like that. And of course, the only time she discloses personal medical information is about her shit. But,
right?
Chantal. And, she's going to be disclosing it. This is probably the only time it's maybe appropriate to talk about this kind of stuff. Appropriate is relative, I guess, but it makes sense to me for her to talk about this type of thing in a video like this. Not so much when she's eating, So she may go to the ER if she doesn't feel better. She said she maybe do some different videos for now and might be not doing mukbangs, particularly because the things she's eating aren't as film-worthy. So I guess, having a pudding or something probably isn't as big of a deal. And she just asked for patience from those who are watching. And this was a shorter video, 9 minutes or so. So there's a couple things that could be going on there. When any person discloses a whole bunch of personal information, or teases it, now this is some personal stuff, it's not everything. Again, get the, come in. Putting yourself in that vulnerable spot and making yourself vulnerable, it can go a couple ways. It draws people in, or it's meant to draw people in, and say, I'm letting my guard down, here's me, and it's supposed to be maybe a little endearing, or a little bit, this is who I really am, let me show you. On the manipulative side, because it can take another slant, it's meant to draw you in, make you forget negative things about me, and just make you worry. It's a way of manipulating people into caring. So it can take a couple different forms. Chantal has been, and can be, quite manipulative. However, she can also be worried about her health, and maybe have no one else but Pete to talk to about it, and so she turns the camera on. Could be that too. Oh. It's not the kind of thing I would talk about on camera. I would mention if I was having a hard time with this condition. I don't know how much detail I'd go into. I think I would just use a lot of different words to explain the same thing. But, again, her channel, not mine. But, I got her up here because I can't get enough. So, next, Instant Pot Roast Beef Dinner. So she's feeling better. Much better. Because she's going to go down on a pot roast. She's going to the bathroom less and eating something of a Brat Diet. Now, if I remember Brat Diet, when I was in rehab, there was a lot of guys on the Brat Diet because they'd come off of, years of drinking and barely eating, and their bodies were shot. And it was, bananas, rice, applesauce, and tea, I think. And it was just to be a little more gentle on the body, from what I understand. So she's picking and choosing. I think I've been at the point where certain medical conditions I have, the major one being my mental illness. I have bipolar disorder. At a certain point, the suggestions I was getting stopped being suggestions and turned into, if you want to live outside of an asylum, you need to do these things. It was not try this, try that, maybe it'll help. I had run out of it. This was like a rock bottom. It was like this or crazy. You don't have a third option. Sorry. It's shitty or shittier. So make peace with it and do something. I don't know. So she gets done with talking, and then she has to stop. She does the intro, and then she sounds like she's going to go into doing it, and she starts, and then she stops because she said she didn't feel well again. And then she says maybe it's a bacterial problem that she's not feeling well. Maybe it's Pete's, because Pete's doesn't feel well either. Okay. Now, I've mentioned about cats on the counters before, and I've said her life or whatever. Just saying. I hope, for her sake, that she's as clean as she says she is about counters and stuff, because, I'm sure she knows, but it bears repeating, cats walk in their own waste, in litter boxes. They scratch into it a whole lot, and then they walk all over your counters, after having walked in their own waste. So cleaning up is important, because there's bacteria in that, and Pete's could be exposed to that as well, and that's where the food's prepared. And you can be clean, but if you're opening up Lindor chocolates and then licking it off your fingers and the cat's right on the counter right then, it's not helping, probably. It's another risk factor. It's another thing that could, be cautious. Be cautious, if you can. So, going for another drive to look at Christmas lights, Pete's, again, trumps me as a Grinch. He's this precocious teenager shit that he does. Okay, I did it till I was 30, because I was, drunk for most of my 20s, and I stopped maturing somewhere around 22. It's not even cute when teenagers do it. It's really not cute when adults do it. I don't know, maybe it's just how he is on camera, but so these lights that they went to go see were actually pretty beautiful, I have to say. Then she comes back, another vlog, random type thing, and she's doing a grocery haul. And these are semi-healthy groceries, because she's going to eat healthy and see kind of like what happens. What happens? Eat healthy until when? Like, I'm just going to eat well until I feel better, and then go back to eating crap? I don't think that's the plan. I think if it was said to her that way, she'd snap back and think that that was rude. But I genuinely question, how long would you eat healthy and then do what? Like, what's the end game? Get my body back to a state of homeostasis where it can continue to process all this food? A healthy body wouldn't maintain being 250 pounds overweight or having bowel issues or other stuff. Things start to give out. I've been obese too. And you can't be obese, that your body starts to give out. Bodies don't care how positive you are about them if they're failing, if organs are failing, if body parts are falling apart. You can be bedbound and be body positive. It doesn't help you walk to the bathroom. So it's, there's different things to kind of weigh when talking about size, health, complications. Yes, there's plenty of skinny people that get blood clots in their lungs. Yes, there's skinny people who use CPAPs. Yes, there's skinny people who do that. Do they all have it all at once? Perhaps there's a few people. Does being obese raise those risk factors? Yeah. So, no matter what she goes to the doctor for, weight loss would probably be on her chart as one of the goals to work on. Hopefully she is doing as much as she said in her last You Don't Own Me. I'm going to continue to reject diet culture, to work on myself, to slowly reduce my calorie intake, to reject this, to, Rosie the Riveter kind of thing that she was doing. So she got a bunch of groceries, and as I was going through this video, I was kind of like listening, looking. It's backwards. She got a new phone, and everything that was filmed in selfie is reversed, because the fridge was on the wrong side. Everything was on the wrong side. And it was a little distracting. Not much. I mean, I've made mistakes. I've reversed our intro and outro before. I did it yesterday. Because you won't watch. But, mistakes happen. But I think she did it like 2 or 3 videos in a row. So, again, at the end of this, cats are on the counter. She's talking about getting popcorn for a snack. Tread lightly with your bowels. I've had bowel issues when I was younger. Popcorn was not advised for me. Tons of high fiber foods, a lot of liquids. That's the kind of crap that I was prescribed because I had a lot of issues. I had an ulcer when I was 11. I was a little bit of a high-strung kid. So she's cooking this roast in the Instant Pot. And just pointer, beef isn't terribly easy to digest. This was a very lean cut of meat. It was an eye round or ribeye, eye round, I think. And she put it in, and she put it in the Instant Pot. Now, it's not a tool everyone uses. It's not one of those common sense who does. It's not like a stove. You know, a lot of people have Instant Pots, but pressure cooking for me isn't intuitive. I never used one, so I Google directions too. I don't know who gave her bad information. 5 minutes on low pressure and slow release for 40. That would come out like an old shoe. And it came out, it did. It came out tough because it was still raw. So she put it back in for like 10 more minutes, and then it was okay after that. It sort of cooked. She was going to make Yorkshire pudding, decided against it. She said it was a tougher cut of beef, but it was tender, asked Pete's, and he said his requisite, oh, it's fine, it's good. And she said, again, if she's hungry later, she'll have popcorn. Check out what might be helpful with that. So again, she's feeling a lot better because the next video is Swiss Chalet holiday meal rotisserie chicken and story time. So she's feeling a lot better. 2 kinds of gravy better, okay? In the process of working out her medical issues. So she's still addressing that this is happening, but apparently she's not concerned, or she is concerned and she's bypassing it, that eating foods like this, which are kind of pretty far off the Brat Diet, are not an issue. That this isn't going to interfere with her condition, or if it is, it's worth the risk. It's worth it for the payoff. So whatever bargain she's made, and she's having Swiss Chalet. She said she only has it once a year. Once a year, and you have to have it right now in the middle of a medical sort of emergency, which becomes an emergency. There's a community post. It couldn't wait. Like, maybe just not this year. Traditions are important. I get it. And all of her traditions surround food. A lot of people's holidays traditions surround food. I don't have any that command me going to a store and eating alone a bunch of food, but, you know, maybe apparently she does. I don't know. And it was a lot of food. You know, it was a dinner roll, it was stuffing, it was mashed potatoes, roll, 2 kinds of gravy, a quarter white meat rotisserie chicken, some Lindor truffles for dessert. A lot of food. It was a lot of food. Then she's going to tell us a story. So she takes us back to her Kativa days. I mean, this was back when she was, I guess, a teenager. And the first video I think she was talking about was when she traveled across Canada with a volunteer program for, I don't know, exceptional youth, troubled youth. It was kind of hard to figure out what kind of youth were in this program. And she did that as a video in the past and talked about how she got into it and the places they went and things she did and building her own bunk bed, whatever. She didn't build the bunk beds. I shouldn't say that. She probably watched, I think. So she backpedals a little to where she's living with a friend when she's about 17. She's not living with her mom. They're not getting along. So she's living with the friend in a crowded house. She's with the friend's mother, the stepfather, or the mom's boyfriend, couple siblings, another person. It's just a full house. So she's eating meals and crashing at her mom's, but she's going over and sleeping at the friend's place because Chantal was kind of a wild child, a little rebellious, and probably had a lot of freaking attitude. And she owns as much, so she's not pretending she was an angel here. Apparently in this apartment she was staying in, there was a gentleman from China who, for reasons unclear, moved in. And Chantal slept on the couch. And this guy would carry around books to help translate, because he didn't speak really any English, it seemed like. And would want to talk to her. And he got up very early in the morning, and she said she was very impatient in her youth. I can't imagine what she probably said to this guy. Then she started talking about being a teenager and that she catfished people. Okay. Here's my big not surprised face. Okay. I would say I didn't catfish when I was younger. I would say I fatfished. I'm going to put my age of doing it around 19 or 20. What I would use is one of my senior year class photos where I looked all twinky and braces and I had all my hair, and I think I was 17 or 18. And I used that picture up until I was like 21. And I had gained more than the 5 pounds you can lie about when you date online. But, you know, by the time you get there, they're usually like, whatever, you made the drive. So I had done that myself. I never faked a whole relationship saying I looked like Mandy Moore, like she did. But I've done it too. I'm not passing judgment, but I didn't never take it as far as she did. I kind of was having ships passing in the night, and she seemed to have like a couple year almost relationship over the computer with this guy. So she's going to New York, New York State, and then they end up going to New York City. And this guy is, I guess, in the States. So she's going from Canada to New York, and the guy says, well, why don't we try to meet up when you're going? And she's like, oh, maybe. And then she totally ghosted the guy, and they never met. And they still continued to talk after that, though. She said that she didn't really want to show the guy who she was. She said she was 17. This was her rationale for doing it. She was 17. She hated her body, which a lot of 17-year-olds, thin, fat, tall, and short, hate their bodies because it's your teens. You're 17. I hated my body at 17, and I had never been thinner, had more hair, or clearer skin, and I thought I was hideous. I could go back now and smack the crap out of myself and say, get out there and start dating, because it's never going to be, you know, you're never going to be this young again. You're never going to be this, but live and learn. So, hated her body, starved herself at points. And she said she was bullied for being fat. So was I. By friends, by family, you know, people who don't have good intentions, who aren't the people, you have such a pretty face. At least they say that to girls. You have such a pretty face. I know that's a kind of a thing. And if you do have a pretty face, it's, you know, thank you very much. But that's kind of it's not backhanded to say that if someone says to you, you have a pretty face. It's just known that that's something that's said to fat women. You know, it's kind of like, that's the compliment you give if a person's overweight. Even if they don't have a pretty face, you feel beholden to say something.
Oh yeah, and oh, you look so healthy.
Yeah, you look so healthy.
I love that one.
See, I've been super thin. Mark's been super thin too. And then when you gain weight, especially in rehab, you go in skinny and you come out a little fat and you gain weight, people say, you look so healthy. Now, if you have a disordered mind, like I did and sometimes do around body image and stuff like that, my eating's cool, my behaviors are cool, but the body dysmorphia lingers, the body image stuff lingers. And, you know, it's like, I'm still fat. I'm still fat. I'm not as thin as I was before. That means I'm fat. And people said I look healthy. That means I'm really fat. So, people mean well. People usually mean well. I just misread it and interpret it poorly because, you know, when you have, like, which explains probably my own promiscuity in that age, because I had no self-esteem, no boundaries, and no sense of caution. I was prime for sleeping around. You know, I was good fodder for a lot of folks, and I hope they enjoyed themselves. So she goes to her grandpa's, and they end up taking a train into New York City. The drive from Canada to Albany, I guess, was like 7 hours. Took a train. She said she remembers ordering Domino's when they get there. Food memories that stick out like that are significant for some of us. They are for me. I remember a wedding I went. I don't have a lot of childhood memories. Not for any particular reason other than, I don't know, they burned off with the ecstasy. I just don't have that many. One of my earliest memories, I was probably 5, and I was at a wedding in Delaware, and they were serving chicken cordon bleu as one of the entrees, and I remember I didn't like it. I couldn't tell you who was there at that wedding. I don't remember dancing. I don't remember how we got home. I don't remember if we stayed at relatives' houses, but I remember what we ate. I can tell you meals I've had, good, bad, and nothing special, over very long periods of time. The first meal I had when I got to rehab, the first meal Mark and I had out at a restaurant. Like, I remember these things because food is a fixation of mine. It's clearly a fixation of hers, too. So, and then Chantal talks about this story where she was very magnanimous and gave away money to homeless people while she was there, which is a nice story. There was some homeless woman sleeping on the steps of St. Patrick's Cathedral using a bag of rice for a pillow, and reached up to Chantal, and Chantal gave her some money. And then she gave the rest of her money away to homeless people, except for something she, like, bought for herself at Saks or something like that. So, she said whenever COVID slows down, she's thinking to maybe go back to New York. And then at the end of this, the cats are on the counter, and she's licking her fingers because she's having a hazelnut Lindor chocolate, which sounds delicious. And then she's feeling better. And then there's a community post. Mark.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay.
I thought I didn't have my phone. I do. I need to go back.
Oh, the community post.
Yes, because she's now infirmed again. And I don't mean to... Well, we'll read this first. This was 15 hours ago, and I don't have anything newer since. Hey guys, my feeling better was short-lived, and I ended up in the ER last night. This was after the Swiss Chalet thing. After a day of various testing, the news is really worse than I thought. I will make a video sharing the news with you when I feel a bit better. So, apparently her body was kicking back all that gravy, and it didn't go well. Now, whose responsibility is it to look out for Chantal and her health and wellness? Is it her doctors? Is it her? Is it Pete's? Is it you? Is it me? Or is it her? She goes to the hospital quite a bit. One could argue that she uses the emergency room a lot. Over the past, it's been over a year since I've been looking at Chantal weekly. And I would say that she's used the ER quite a bit. She has used the Psych Emerge once, maybe twice, that I can recall. One time she went for overeating, and it put her into such a mental spot that she wanted to hurt herself, I guess. And I support her going for that completely. I know, it sounds stupid, but whatever the reason is, if I'm mad because Bandit won't come sit next to me, and it's putting me at the point where I'm thinking about injuring myself to death, send me to the hospital. It doesn't matter how stupid the reason sounds. If it's pushing me to the edge, it's pushing me to the edge. But in this situation, it's her physical health. And she was cautious for a couple days, and then probably started to feel better, and figured I'm fine. It's the 10-day antibiotic, where you take it for 3 days and you feel fine, so you stop taking it, and then you're worse than before you started. Or me and my psych meds, where I take it for a few days, and all of a sudden I don't feel as crazy. And the reason I am feeling better is because I'm taking the meds, so I stop taking them, even though they're the reason I feel better. So she kind of seems to have followed the medical advice like that. Unless she's just playing Dr. Google at the moment, and until she sees a doctor, she's just putting together her own treatment plan. Now, I am an advocate for self-directed care, whether it's medical, mental health, psychiatric, whatever. But it's, I believe, also in a collaboration between individuals, clients, patients, consumers, and professionals. That you do things with your provider, with your doctor. And if you're not happy with them, certainly to find another one. I understand things aren't as seamless in Canada, that there are things like wait times and referrals, and that with socialized medicine, things operate a little bit differently. And that the emergency is probably the quickest way for her to get help at that time. But if emergencies can be avoided by being proactive in treatment, if it's possible to do that, I would hope that she would make some efforts in that direction, just so she can look after herself. I mean, really, Chantal, I'm talking to you. Give yourself a break. Hasn't it been, it's been hard enough for long enough. I mean, give yourself a break. You deserve it. Everyone deserves a break once in a while. And when I say break, I don't mean order a pizza. And I say break, I mean, take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's not proving anything to anyone to stay sick at all. And I said this about Cynthia Beaumont too. If, Chantal would be one of the big success stories of YouTube if she turned around and was, I mean, she's a pretty woman. She's a beautiful woman. So it's not about her being pretty. It's about her being, alive in 10 years. We'll see. Most of these decisions are up to her because most of her health conditions are impacted by the choices she makes. They're versus being organic, like they just come up out of nowhere, versus she's had a part in creating her health conditions. She wasn't struck by lightning, so to speak. So I guess we'll see. She'll share as much as she wants to share, and she won't what she won't. In the past, when she shared personal stuff and she didn't like the feedback that she got, she would clamp back down again and say, that's it, I'm not doing this, I'm not talking about it anymore. Or she would do like a healthy food haul, which she sort of did, after a video where she said she doesn't feel well. And then backlash, I never said I was going on a diet. I never said that I was going to eat healthy. All I said was, ... That's it. This is why I don't share medical ... Goodbye. And then we get some bright red lipstick mukbangs, because it's my party and I'll eat if I want to. I don't know what we're going to see next. That's a couple of the options I've seen before. If she wants to mix it up, maybe she'll actually follow doctor's orders. And whatever this new worse than she thought situation is that she put up on the community board, I hope that it's not, super serious, because I don't dislike Chantal. I don't think she knows who I am. I would be curious to know if she watched my videos and what she thought of them. I gathered a little bit of a reputation for being one of the nicer folks, which is probably why I don't have as many views. I hope she's okay. And I hope she contributes to her good health going forward. How's that for get your shit together? Isn't that a nicer way to say it?
Hey guys, surprise, it's me. Oh my gosh, we have some breaking news for you. Now, Steven would have done this, but as he was uploading the video that you just watched, he decided to go in the bathroom and bleach his hair. So that's what he's doing right now. So I'm here for you with some breaking news on our fair lady Chantal. Oh yes, Foodie Booty is live right now as we speak. I'm looking at her right now. And I broke out my It's the Weekend mug. Oh yeah, y'all didn't know I had one of my own, did ya? Oh yeah, just for occasions like this. Anyway, just some updates for you, I guess. Turning a little serious, she did go live right as Steven finished his last video, and she is addressing her trip to the ER and her diagnosis. She's been diagnosed with C. diff. She had it before, I guess it came back. She also has extreme fatty liver disease, and she has yet another clot in her lung. Now she is referring to herself now as a food addict again, as if she never, ever denied being a food addict. Back in the glory days where she actually put it in writing that she is not a food addict. Well, she is referring to herself as a food addict right now. And she is saying that, I'm looking at her right now, she's saying that it's time to get serious. That this is because of her weight, and that she needs to lose weight, and that she is gonna do it. She is even going to get on a waiting list for weight loss surgery. So, I guess Steven is a little more even-handed than I am, because I just have to think how many times we've heard this before. I don't wish her any harm at all. I hope this is the wake-up call that she is needed, because it is getting harder to watch every week, watching someone slowly kill themselves with their addiction, and that's in all seriousness. I do wish her well. Steven?
Yes.
Do you have anything to interject here? I tried to cover everything in a nutshell, so we can keep everyone up to date, like in real time.
Well, I've said, she's trying. I'm not confident that she'll succeed.
Right.
Because she never has.
But I think the thing is that she doesn't take it seriously. Even now, she's laughing about it. Now, she does say that's her coping mechanism, but she, especially about the fatty liver disease, she was howling about it.
I took 10,000 tries to get moderately better.
Yes.
So I'm willing to give her another one.
Good. Yeah, I am too.
I'm
absolutely.
not confident that she'll succeed,
I really hope.
But everyone needs someone on their side if they're going to try.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree totally, and I wish her the best. I really do. We'll be rooting for you. We will, really. I don't want to see anybody fail, especially at something as serious as this.
And I say this as lovingly as possible. Cut the shit. Don't fuck it up this time.
You heard it here.
I say that with all the love and compassion I have for another human being.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's nice.
All right, now get to.
All right, get to, Foodie Booty. get 2. Alright, we just wanted to update you in real time, let you know what's going on, alright? It's nice to see everyone. This is the first time I've actually sat down and spoke with all of the Coffee Talk folks. It was really, really nice. Alright? Alright. Bye, guys.
So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the like button and the bell on your way out so you get the alerts. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Twitter. Our handle's at SmokeySteveA. Our email address and our contact information is all listed below. That includes our P.O. Box. We are doing a Christmas card exchange at the moment. So if you send us a card, we'll send you one back. If you would just like to get a card, you can send us your email address at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or send us your address, or an address, at SmokeySteveAndMarc@yahoo.com, and we'll send you out a card. Thank you for watching, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. We go live on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to come by and say howdy. It's usually pretty chill. We have some good mods, and we tend to attract some pretty nice subs, too, and viewers. So it's usually a pretty nice chat. So feel free to stop by. Thank you for watching. Bye.